The union called off its last strike, which lasted 8 months on October 14, 2022, after the National Industrial Court ruled against it and following the interventions by the religious bodies and the former Speaker of the House of Representatives and now Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has reaffirmed government's commitment to ensuring a safe environment for journalists, highlighting that a free press is essential for thriving democracy. Idris started this during a book presentation of Writing for Media and Monetizing It by Senior Vice Chairman and Editor-in-Chief of Leadership Media Group, Azu Esikwena, in Abuja. In his keynote address, Idris stressed the importance of responsible journalism, urging media practitioners to balance their freedom with a sense of duty, ethics, and patriotism. Around the organized level has kicked against the Federal Executive Council's decisions to step down the memorandum on the report of the Tripartite Committee on New National Minimum Wage. Head of Public Relations of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Benson Okpa, who criticized failure of the council to consider the memo during Tuesday's meeting, said stepping down the Tripartite Committee report creates what he termed room for injurious speculations. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, had told journalists after the council's meeting that the memorandum on the new was stepped down to allow for wider consultation between President Bola Tinubu, state governors, local government authorities, and the private sector. Away from that, the federal government has provided state with human capital and logistics support across the 107 local government areas across 31 states where cholera cases have been reported. The Director of Public Health at the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Chukwuma Anyaki, said the federal government is also creating awareness about the disease. The current outbreak of cholera has spread to 107 local government areas in the country, with over 1,528 suspected cases and 53 deaths recorded from 31 states. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has said the Senate has not approved the purchase of new presidential jet for the use of President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima. He described as malicious a report quoting him to have said the National Assembly will approve the purchase of new aircraft for the President and Vice President, even in the face of the harsh economic situation in the country. The alleged report comes in the wake of the recommendation by the House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence to buy new aircraft for the President and the Vice President, as the existing presidential jets are faulty and unsafe for use. And now to Rivers State. Rivers State government has said it has found a suspect who detonated an explosive device near the state-owned presidential hotel during a pro-police protest in Port Harcourt on Tuesday. This came less than 24 hours after the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Adezore, alerted the management of both private medical facilities in the state on the identity of the suspect, injury signs, and on the need to detain him if found. And now to business. The management of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund announced a 14-day postponement of the application process for student loans for state institutions. According to a statement by the agency in Abuja, the development was due to low data submissions. As it said that the decision was necessitated by the failure by the several state-owned institutions to upload the required student data and the fee information to its student verification system. It said to date, only a limited number of state-owned institutions have successfully completed the data submission process. These include 20 state universities out of 48, 12 state colleges out of 54, and 2 state polytechnics out of 49. Oyo State government has opened a portal for recruitment of 7,000 teachers for the state's public business schools. Chairman of Oyo State University Universal Basic Education Board, Dr. Nuremi Adeniran, said the recruitment is part of the state government's bid to reduce unemployment among its citizenry. The portal, according to the Adeniran, would register each candidate with their email, phone number, and national identification number among other requirements, with a view to providing them with jobs suitable for them, either as teachers or caregivers. The House of Representatives Committee on Science Research Institutions has established an ad hoc committee to investigate the recent appointment of the Director Generals of the National Space Research Development Agency and Raw Material Research and Development Council. Chairman of the House Committee, Olaide Kiremi, said the investigation is seen as a move to ensure that the appointment process was merit-based and in the best interest of the agencies and country. The House of Representatives Committee on Public Assets has urged all government agencies to take proper ownership of all public-owned properties located in various areas of the country. Speaking at the resumed investigative hearing featuring several agencies under Ministry of Information and Aviation, Chairman of the committee, Ademorin Akuya, lamented the deplorable state of some valuable properties in the country. The lawmakers said proper documentation and physical possession of the assets will go a long way in safeguarding such properties and save huge money for the government. And now to judiciary, the Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the final forfeiture of the sum of $1.4 million linked to the immediate past governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Justice Akoyokunle ordered the final forfeiture of the funds to the federal government following an application by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The Anti-Graft Agency had earlier on May 29, 2014 secured an interim order temporarily forfeiting the money. Former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has sued the State House of Assembly over claims that his administration embezzled 432 billion naira and left the state with significant debt obligations. The former governor filed the fundamental right enforcement case against the State House of Assembly at the Federal High Court in Kaduna. El-Rufai, who appeared in the person to file the lawsuit, alleged that the committee denied him a fair hearing. Lagos State Fire and Rescue Services has said plans are on the way to install a centralized generator at Lagos Island Market to curb incessant market fire. Similarly, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has emphasized the importance of collective responsibility in preventing fire disasters. Speaking at the Lagos International Fire Safety Conference organized by the State Fire Service, the governor noted that the fire incidents in the state were often caused by careless behavior, urging traders at the market to take responsibility for their actions. And our Abia State said it will pay in trenching salary areas old workers in the state-owned higher institutions of learning. Commissioner for Finance Mike Akpara, who stated this during a press conference in Umuahia, the state capital, expressed determination of the present administration to completely change the narrative of owing workers salaries because a worker deserves his wages. You're watching this Prime coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using at Global TV NG and all the handles Nigeria on the screen. When News Prime returns in search of a coach for Super Eagles, Nigeria Football Federation debunks report of contacting runner. These and other stories coming right after this break. You stay with us.
Busy road, the increasing challenge of keeping track of health matters can be extremely demanding. Follow the latest health tips and trends on Health Guide on Global Television on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Health Guide on Global Television. Put your health first.
Welcome to Bayes University, Abuja, Nigeria, with a legacy of excellence and a vision for nurturing future leaders. Bayes University is in a league of its own. We're all about our people, processes, and technology.
Bayes is one of the highly rated universities in Nigeria in terms of product quality standards.
We don't just produce graduates, but groom people into employers of labor.
And it has made us understand that learning is all about three things. We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn.
Bayes University Hospital offers a range of specialized services equipped with the latest technology, manned by a team of trusted professionals. And now, our vision extends beyond our walls with the Baba Ahmed University in Kano following our lead. Join us at Bayes University and invest in your future today.
Bayes University is the institution that you will get the best value for money education in Nigeria.
Bayes University. Learn to live.
On News Prime. An official from the Main Doctors Association has said death toll from protests in Kenya has climbed to 13 after anti-tax hike rallies turned violent and police opened fire at the demonstrators who ransacked parliament. The unprecedented scenes that left part of Parliament ablaze and gutted and injured scores of people on Tuesday have shocked Kenyans and prompted President William Ruto's government to deploy the military. The mainly youth-led rallies began mostly peacefully last week, with thousands of demonstrators marching in the capital of Nairobi and across the country against the tax increases. And now more to foreign scene. The United States President Joe Biden has announced that he was correcting a historic wrong by military personnel convicted under a law banning homosexuality in the armed forces for decades. He said with the gesture, he was ensuring the culture of armed forces reflect the values that makes them exceptional nation. The addition specifically concerns Article 125 of the Code of Military Justice dating from 1951 and made obsolete by Congress in 2013. It made the sodomy between consenting adults a crime punishable by court martial. In a defense development, the United States has identified Nigeria as one of the most viable countries to promote chemical security for a safer world. Daniel Rocknia, Senior Director, American Chemical Council, started this in Abuja at the workshop tagged Promoting Chemical Security for a Safe World. But for more on the foreign scene, let's now join Okochukwu Mawano for updates.
15 months, Evan Jakshovich has been locked away in a Moscow jail, but the Wall Street Journal reporter went on a trial 1,000 miles from the Russian capital in Yekaterinburg. The Yekaterinburg city, where he was arrested on espionage charges while on a reporting trip for the Wall Street Journal, had shaving and wearing a check shirt in jean. Jakshovich stood in the metal and glass cage known in Russian courtroom as the aquarium. Head shaving and wearing a check shirt and jean, Jakshovich stood in the metal and glass cage known in Russian courtrooms as the aquarium, as he smiled to cameras but made no comment. After a few minutes, we were asked to leave the room. From this point on, this trial will be held behind closed doors. Prosecutors claimed that the American journalists had been collecting classified information about a Russian tank manufacturer near Yekaterinburg on behalf of America's Central Intelligence Agency. Mr. Jakshovich, his employer, and the U.S. government vehemently reject the charge. If convicted, the maximum possible sentence is 20 years in prison. Prosecutors claimed that the American journalists had been collecting classified information about a Russian tank manufacturer near Yekaterinburg on behalf of America's Central Intelligence Agency. Mr. Jakshovich, his employer, and the U.S. government vehemently reject the charge. If convicted, the maximum possible sentence is 20 years in prison. Julian Assange has landed back home in his native Australia after a plea deal allowed him to walk free from a London prison. There were emotional scenes at Canberra airport as the Wikileaks founder kissed his wife and hugged his father. His lawyers watching on visibly moved. For the past 14 years, Assange has been in a legal battle with U.S. officials who accuse him of leaking classified documents, which they say puts lives in danger. The 52-year-old did not attend a news conference in Canberra, instead letting his lawyers and wife speak for him. The couple married in London's Belmarsh prison in 2022 and have 2 children together. The plea deal saw Julian Assange plead guilty to one charge of conspiracy to obtain and disclose national defense information rather than the 18 he was originally facing. The case centered around a massive Wikileaks disclosure in 2010 when the website released a video from a U.S. military helicopter which showed civilians being killed in the Iraqi capital Baghdad. Rahul Gandhi of the Congress Party has been appointed leader of the opposition in India's parliament, filling a post that had been empty for a decade. It's the first time the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's main rival has held a constitutional role since he joined politics in 2004. Gandhi will now sit on committees that make key appointments and act as a counterbalance to the Prime Minister. Since 2014, no opposition party had won 10% of 55 of the 543 seats required to claim the post. Modi remains in power with help from allies, but his party fell short of a majority after 2 consecutive landslides. The Congress Party said Gandhi would ensure the government has held to account at all times. Although he has been in politics for more than 25 years and an MP for 5 terms, he has never been a minister or won a general election for his party.
Many thanks, Okochukwu. Down to business. The federal government has declared that there is no importation of the derivative fuel into Nigeria, countering the recent position of an official of the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. He declared this after meeting with oil marketers and local refiners of crude oil in Abuja, where parties at the meeting discussed issues about refined product pricing, issues of competitions, and the importation of products that are produced in Nigeria. Speaking to the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority while reacting to claims of dirty fuel importation to Nigeria, the government stated that refined petroleum products with high sulfur content were last imported in February, stressing that these had since been addressed by the regulator. The Federal Executive Council has approved over $1.4 billion to procure arms, ammunition, and equipment for the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fahimi told journalists after the council met at the State House in Abuja the new purchase is meant to boost the agency's anti-narcotics operation nationwide. Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Kadoso, says inflationary pressure has started dropping as a result of the central bank's policy measures, which aim to reduce the current inflation rate of the 33.69%. This was as he revealed that the country recorded a total foreign exchange inflow of about $24 billion in the first quarter of 2024, which is about 50% above the inflows recorded in the previous quarters up to 2021. The government declared that the days of excessive data volatility were over, highlighting the positive impact of the monetary policy tools employed by the Apex Bank to tackle the challenges facing the forex market. The World Bank has provided $45.5 million to Nigeria's National Identity Management Commission as part of the digital identification for the development. According to the World Bank's implementation report, the fund was disbursed in several tranches between December 2021 and April 2024. With the disbursement still ongoing, the multilateral institution noted that it will enable people in Nigeria, especially marginalized groups, access welfare-enhancing services, stating that the project will also enhance the identity system's legal and technical safeguards to protect personal data and privacy. The initiative aims to increase the number of Nigerians enrolled in the National Identification Number system. For more updates on business news, let's now join Kikolome Okere.
Welcome to Business Report on Prime News. The Naira moderated by 71 basis points in the official market amid increased pressure from the US dollar index, showing improved stability in the unofficial market. FMDQ data highlighted that the Naira dipped by 0.71% against the greenback, settling at 1,500 Naira, much lower than 1,490 Naira per dollar on Monday at the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market. Currency exchanger attributed the recent uptick in dollar demand to summer vacation and importers who require the haven currency for purchasing raw materials. Market fundamentals support the Naira remarkable stability due to the fresh foreign cash inflow that have entered the Nigerian economy during the recent decline in the currency value. The World Bank and Afrexim contributed about $6 billion to the Nigerian economy, bolstering the country's foreign exchange reserve and maintaining the value of Naira. The CBN Governor Olayemi Kadoso recently expressed hope for the future of the volatile era in the foreign exchange market, given the current calm in the market. This month, the Naira has been relatively stable, trading in the official market with a narrow range between 1,473 and 1,500 Naira to a dollar. Dangote Sugar Refinery says it's planning a 200 billion Naira multi-instrumental issuance, signifying a shift in the company's financing model towards the debt security market. According to a corporate notice issued on the NGX website, the company announced plans to register a 200 billion Naira multi-instrument issuance program with the Securities and Exchange Commission. It was contained in the notice that the company's management will decide when to issue securities under the multi-instrument issuance program based on market condition and necessary regulatory approval. The company is currently executing 150 billion Naira commercial paper issuance program, under which it has issued 141.8 billion Naira across 5 series. Dangote Sugar shifts towards debt securities for financing began this year as it has restated its commitment to diversifying its funding sources. In 2024 alone, the company issued about 141.8 billion naira in commercial papers, while in the first quarter of the year, it incurred about 543.2 million naira as interest expense on commercial paper. This move towards debt instruments has been spurred by increasing interest rates in the country, following a significant rise in the CBN's benchmark rate by 750 basis points to 26.25%, despite issuing commercial papers at discount rates ranging from 17.08% to 25%. Dangote Sugar has achieved relatively low yield rate compared to bank loans. The shift towards debt instruments as a financing source is evidenced by a breakdown of the country's finance cost for first quarter of 2024. During the quarter, the company incurred 21.48 million naira in interest expenses on bank loans, reflecting a 30.6% year-on-year decrease from the 30.98 million naira incurred in the first quarter of 2023. Nigerian gas export has plunged by 25% to the lowest level in 3 years, mirroring a similar slump in the country's crude oil exports. This decline is primarily attributed to a low production level and exit of multinationals, raising concern about the nation's ability to meet its export commitment and capture revenue from the global gas market. Data obtained from the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC) reveals a 25.5% decline in gas exports in the last 3 years due to low gas production. Export sales dipped from 1.14 million standard cubic feet per day in 2021 to 847,755 million standard cubic feet per day in 2023. The significant drop in exports could be related to recent exits of major producers from Nigeria, coupled with the lack of investment in the field. Notably, the exploration and development of Nigerian deep-water potentials are important factors to change the recent decline. Higher yield-seeking investors were on the sideline at the recent FGN bond auction, which recorded lower subscription for the third consecutive month. The Debt Management Office raised only 297 billion naira through its June FGN bond auction. It auctioned 450 billion naira FGN bond on Monday, June 24, across the 3 tranches, which include a reopened 9-year bond as well as 5 years and 7 years tenure at 150 billion naira each. This fell short of 378 billion naira sold from the 450 billion naira offered at.
Let's now join Chunk Anamo Joseph for entertainment news.
Davido, the latest grooming tycoon, has assured his wife, Chiama's parents, that she will always be protected, respected, and connected. An Instagram video captured the heartwarming moment in which Davido's prostrated in front of his bride's parents during his ongoing traditional wedding in Lagos State. The event compare then asked him to beg for their daughter's hand in marriage as is tradition. As the singer lay on the ground, he highlighted his intentions for Chiama as directed, saying, "I have only 2 words, lifetime assurance." His statement caused the crowd to erupt into loud cheers, and then he added that he promised that their daughter will be protected, respected, and connected. Everybody knows that he is happy for this day, and this is the happiest day of his life. After Davido got on his feet, the crowd erupted in more cheers. The lavish wedding ceremony is set to be one of the most talked about events of the year, as it has attracted a mix of celebrities, dignitaries, and political figures. The union between Davido and Chioma has been graced by even the former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, among many others. Social media platforms remain abuzz with clips and pictures from the grand events, and Nigerians have expressed their joy for the couple online, showering them with praises and prayers. Congratulations to the couple. Since announcing himself on the Afrobeat scene as an artist, Young John has become a fan favorite with many hit songs to his name. In furtherance of his continuous rise, the hitmaker has announced his Jiggy Forever tour. Take 2. The hitmaker has announced his Jiggy Forever tour of North America, where he will thrill fans with a collection of his hit singles. The tour is off the back of the release of his debut Jiggy Forever, which is in partnership with acclaimed event promoter and production company Duke Concept, who has organized the North America tour of Nigerian superstars including Davido, Burna Boy, Asake, Tiwa Savage, and Olamide. Young John is the latest to join Duke Concept's 2024 tour roster, which includes Davido's Timeless Tour, Flavor's American Royalty Tour, and equals the Experience Tour. Speaking on the tour, Young John said he is excited to be headlining his first North American tour, and he loves how his music is reaching people in the States and can't wait to see everyone there getting jiggy. Kicking off in September, the 10-day tour will see Young John heading venues across the United States and Canada, with stop in UK, Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, Los Angeles, and more. The tour announcement arrives ahead of Young John's debut performance at Duke Concept upcoming Tri-Vale Music Festival in Houston on July 5th. Chunk Anamel Joseph reporting for Global TV.
On to sport, Governor of Oyo State, Seri Makinde, says a Confederation of African Football CAF Club competition slot will be the major focus for the Shooting Stars Sports Club in the 2024-2025 Nigeria Premier Football League season. The club's media stated that the governor expressed happiness over the performance of the Oluwajiro Warriors in the just concluded MPFL 2023-2024 season, where they finished fourth in the standings behind Enugu Rangers, Remo Stars, and Ayimba, to marginally miss out on a continental ticket. The Nigeria Football Federation, NFFF, has debunked reports claiming that it has established contact with Javier Renard for the vacant Super Eagles coaching job. Reports emerged on Monday that the Federation had opened talks with the Frenchman to take charge of Nigeria's national team of the Super Eagles. Phil Foden has temporarily left England's Euro 2024 base in Germany to return home due to a pressing family matter, the English Football Association said on Thursday. Foden won Premier League Player of the Year accolades for his starring role in Manchester City title trump this season, and started all three of England's games at the tournament so far. It remains to be seen whether the 24-year-old will be available for the Three Lions' last 16 match on Sunday. Away from that, former Super Eagles midfielder Moti Adepoju has expressed confidence that Nigeria Super Eagles can still qualify for the 2026 World Cup with determination, hard work, and dedication. Adepoju urged the team to play with unity and patriotism in their remaining matches, avoiding divisions and in the camp. Global TV sports correspondent Anthony Mamodu completes the report.
Eagles began their qualifying campaign with a 1-1 draw at home against Lesotho. This was followed by another 1-1 draw away to Zimbabwe last November. The two matches were under the management of Joseph Pisiaro. In June qualifiers, under Finidi George's short tenure, the Super Eagles drew 1-1 with South Africa in Uyo and lost 2-1 away to Benin Republic. These left the team fifth in Group C, trailing behind Lesotho with 5 points and the trio of South Africa, Zimbabwe and Benin, each with 7 points. In an interview, some Nigerians also expressed optimism that the team would make the nation proud in the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
With the attitude and the whole social media observations we've been seeing as regards to the Super Eagles and the way they comport themselves in camp, and the matches we've watched over the past couple of matches they've played, well, personally, I don't think if they go by this attitude, they'll be able to qualify for the World Cup.
As far as us qualifying, it's Nigeria, biggest team, as far as I'm concerned, biggest team in Africa. Still have the most pedigree, still have the best players. A lot of games to go, and I'm sure we'll pull through.
Well, we have all that it takes. I don't know what the challenge is, because most of our players play very well when they are playing for their clubs, but when it comes to the country, I don't know what the challenge is, but we can do better. I believe in Nigeria.
Of course, if we put more energy, if we put more strength, and there's unity within us, we can achieve our aim.
Square peg in the square hole. If they actually result-driven, they should look for people that has the requisite qualification, skills, and expertise.
They also spoke on the plans by the Nigerian Football Federation to hire a foreign coach.
As a Nigerian, we actually need a foreign coach. Yeah, we need a foreign coach, because back then when Stephen Kesh was coaching us, I think we saw some improvement, but we need more like an outsider to come in with experience, so we can see how the team will move forward, because from the previous matches we have played, we have lost a lot. So we need more hands that can put us through more tactics in this football stuff.
Well, I think we should patronize ourselves. I believe we have better professionals here in Nigeria that could handle us, understand our language, understand our people, our culture. And I'm of the opinion that we should have a local coach. If you put it in that context, as against a foreign coach.
The person, the body per se, is not the actual focus on what we should know about, let's say, someone who is to take us to the national level. It's about the character the person possesses and what the knowledge the person gains, or the knowledge the person has on, let me say, leading this team as well. So this person is not actually the race, or let me say about the color.
Well, I don't think it's about a foreign coach. It's just whoever is best qualified is what I would suggest. Whoever is best qualified and most experienced. Nigeria, we can be a bit impatient with coaches. I think we should have left the German guy, to be honest. And I can understand why Finidi would leave. He's already under so much pressure. There doesn't seem to be a long-term plan.
To be honest, I think we do need a foreign coach, because seeing how it was at the AFCON, yeah, but then Finidi, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, yeah.
Anthony Momodu reporting for Global Television News.
To round up the sports news, let's now join Anthony Momodu. Well, we'll get to bring more sports news from Anthony, but as we wrap up the Global News Prime, here is a quick look at some of our top stories. Federal government in closed-door meeting with Academic Staff Union of Universities. Amidst the cholera outbreak, federal government has provided 107 local governments with logistics. On the foreign scene, the United States has identified Nigeria as a location to promote chemical security. And a sports in search of coach for Super Eagles, Nigeria Football Federation has debunked report of contacting Renard. That's the package of News Prime coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles down sharing your screen. I'm Medika Michael. Many thanks for staying with us tonight. See you again.